Hey guys, it is winter, it is cold, it's boring time. Gary bought a new lens. We're going to review the Samyang 75mm f1.8. I have a couple of 85mm lenses which I'll show you, but nothing for E-mount. So I've adapted one from A-mount, so it's a little slow, a little loud. And then I have a manual focus 85 f1.4 lens. So beautiful bokeh, but it's all manual focus. So this baby here is autofocus f1.8. We're just going to jump right in. I'll show you guys some photos. Tomorrow actually is family day. Tom's having a big outdoor get-together for the kids and stuff. I'm going to take this lens. We're going to shoot it exclusively over there. I'm going to do some testing, and then I'm going to give you guys my thoughts on the Samyang 75 f1.8. I want to show you guys a sharpness test I did, just a quick picture of the DVD wall. And from center to corner, it's very good at f1.8. I did top left, bottom right, top right, bottom left. I did all four corners checked, very sharp throughout the frame. And this lens has a very nice coating on here, which I'll show you, that controls chromatic aberration. I've done some tests here of flowers in front of a window, etc. And there is no purple fringing that I could find anywhere. We will keep our eye out for that tomorrow in all the outdoor photos we take over at Tom's, but so far, well controlled. Okay, so here, I want to just show you guys before we get started. This is the lens at f1.8 wide open in the center of the frame. Let's go into 200%. Look at how sharp this lens is. Absolutely amazing. You can read all these fine little numbers. 13227, no problem. This lens is outstandingly sharp in the middle of the frame. This shot here was to test the top right corner. I took shots for every corner, and these three corners, bottom right, bottom left, and top left, were all excellent. The weakest on my lens was this top right corner. And I want to show you guys, it's a little soft, but only in the very, very extreme top right corner. So this little section right here, the Futurama, they're a little soft. They're a little out of focus. That's at f1.8. But all of the other corners, if we go down to the bottom right corner, I'll show you guys, extreme, it wasn't quite as bad. So that all of the other corners were more like this. Very sharp. You can read all these numbers. It's an outstandingly sharp lens. I want to show you that same top right corner, which was a little soft. I bumped the f-stop up to f2.8, and look at the difference. It became super sharp in that top right corner. This was the weak area on my lens, and it was the only weak area, the extreme top. So, you know, as far as I'm concerned, when I'm using this as a portrait lens, all of my subjects are going to be down here in the middle somewhere. You're not going to place your subject up in this tiny little limited area up here. And then even if you stop down to f2.8, it's not an issue. So that's an unconventional sharpness test for you right there. I'm shooting about 10 feet away from the bookshelf with those two shots. And there is the golden reflection on that lens. You can see it's got a fluorine coating on it. So it is a very new lens from Samyang, just in the last year or two here. And it's got ED elements in there. It's got all the newest tech, right? The thing about this lens that makes it interesting is the price. I just grabbed this lens off of Amazon warehouse deals, right? People buy stuff and return it. It's still new. It gets checked by Amazon. You can return it if you don't like it. $330 for a 75mm f1.8. That's crazy. And this lens, from what I can tell in my minimal testing, is crazy good. And the second image that I want to zoom in and show you guys is this one here, and I'm looking for chromatic aberration, green and purple fringing that we get with a light background. And I just took a quick shot of this set of flowers my wife had on the table. Where I would expect to see that would be on this chair in the background, and you can see a very fine gold, very light strip on the chair, but there is no purple fringing. It's not really a green fringing. like we see in some lenses, it's purple and green. This lens is very well controlled. Like if we look at the flower actually has a purple, the way they dyed these roses. So that's not chromatic aberration. That's the way these flowers work. We can see it on this one here. But on the edge of this glass down here, you would expect to see it. And if we zoom in all the way to like 500%, you can see a tiny, you would never notice that in a normal viewing distance from a shot. I mean, it's not there, it's non-existent. This lens would get a 5 out of 5 for chromatic aberration control. This lens has an STM motor in it, so it is very quiet. You will not hear it, but let's just do a quick focus test. It's not the fastest focusing lens from near to far, but it is very accurate, and when you're just going in the middle, it is pretty quick. And in terms of focus noise, it's non-existent. You don't hear this thing. It's very quiet. So it is focusing right there. You cannot hear it. There is a mode switch on this new lens. In mode 1, the focus ring is used for focus. In mode 2, it is used as an aperture, a stepless aperture. I think you can change that if you have the lens dock, but my lens came fully updated to version 3, which is the latest firmware for this lens. So I'm not going to purchase the lens dock at this point because I don't need it. That is a separate purchase. I think it's $65 American or around $100 Canadian if you need to update the firmware on your Samyang lenses. They kind of get you with that one. I just want to mention something about the 75mm focal length that a lot of other reviewers kind of glossed over. They said, you know, that 75 is kind of out of the ordinary focal length and 85 is the much preferred standard. Well, I kind of disagree with that. Maybe some of you will agree with me because as a photography wedding guy for 20 years, I've shot more weddings with 7200s and 7300s on one camera body, and then you've got, you know, your 24 wide or something like that on a second body. So to shoot with a 75mm is not that foreign because you're used to the wide on a zoom 7300 or 7200. So 75 is very close to that, and this is not going to feel as foreign as some of the reviews have made it out to be. I actually prefer 75mm to 85 because you get a little more space around your subject, right? If you're shooting portraits, body portraits, things like that, a couple, 75 gives you a little more space than the 85, and I prefer that. So you know what? Try it before you knock it, guys. 75 is not that foreign. It is family day, so I've got the A7R3 and we've got the 75mm on here. This is the only lens I'm bringing today. We're going to go over to Tom's where we're going to report on Family Day. Every year for 7 years we've had a get together. We invite all the neighborhood over and we have a little bit of an outdoor party. We're going to test this lens and Gary shall report back from Tom's. So I just want to say that this actually will force me to be more creative, because I'm going to have to use my feet more. I'm going to have to move around and look for different angles. I'm not just going to stand in one place zooming. I'm going to end up doing a lot more moving, and that is a nice bonus to the prime lens, is it forces you to be more creative.
I've seen a lot of change, been through a lot of pain. Some things are not the same as they were a year ago, but all will be okay. I move on each and every day. The past is where it stays, way back a year ago. I've changed for the better this time. I thought I would never be fine. I strive just to say I'm alright, and for the first time in a long time I'm alright. I've seen a lot of change, been through a lot of pain. Some things are not the same as they were a year ago, but all will be okay. I move on each and every day. The past is where it stays, way back a year ago. push all my chips and call all in. I'll bet on myself, you keep stalling. I hear destiny and it's calling. I'll keep my head up high through the downs and lows, and we're all going live. Still nobody knows, but I'ma choose what's right and take what comes and goes. And ain't no one in life holding me back no more. I've seen a lot of change, been through a lot of pain. Some things are not the same as they were a year ago, but all will be okay. I move on each and every day. The past is where it stays. Way back a year ago. Back a year ago.
So it's pretty dark today. I am using that new lens exclusively in f1.8, so I will show you guys all the photos. Normally I wouldn't take pictures of a whole scene at f1.8, but I am today just to test this lens. That's why I bought it, to use it wide open for portraits, so there will be a lot of that stuff as well. Alright guys, that's it. Gary has put the camera away. I needed a hand for a drink. I'm going to say that that lens actually is very sharp. It blows me away. I zoomed in and was checking out as I was going along, you know, how many of these people are in focus. Focus was bang on, sharpness was great, it's light, it's small. I love it. I'm impressed with the first outing. This was a perfect place to take it. It is very much a portrait lens, but you can use it for environmental portraiture as well, which we did here today. So I'm going to give it a 2 thumbs up, guys. So I really enjoyed my day with it, and I can recommend it, I think. Check out the photos.
I've been dreaming on in my head like I've seen it. A life worth living is a life with meaning. I'll do what I love till my heart stops beating. I'm feeding this demon. Got a taste, can't erase bitterness in my face. Work a job every day till your dreams fade away. Like a card, never change, play the game that we say. I need a break. I'm staying strong, need to move on to be what I want. I'll keep dreaming on. I'm staying strong, need to move on to be what I want. I'll keep dreaming on. Face on when I chase like that, yeah, I play so strong with a knife in the back. I'ma swing home run like a baseball bat. Gonna see me rise, you can hate on that. I don't play both sides, doing me no cap. I'ma ride or die for my dreams on tap. I'ma fly real high, you ain't see me slack. No, it's not how you fall, it's how you get right back up. That's how you get tough. Calluses on my hands so rough, yeah, I call your bluff. I'm not the one, mess with me and come out with none. Cause I'm so done, you had your fun, and now you're gonna face down the barrel of the gun. Cause I got a full clip, put your name on it, but I'ma let you slide cause you ain't worth it. I'm staying strong, need to move on to be what I want. I'll keep dreaming on. I'm staying strong, need to move on to be what I want. I'll keep dreaming